Hi friends, it's Liz here. Thank you for joining me today. I have a quick video today. I'll show you some pieces I've been making for junk journals like ephemera, and we'll also make something together. And don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any questions. Let's get started. I was working on a few items and I thought I would bring you along just to show you my process of how sometimes when I just want to create, I'll just start grabbing things and playing with them and then seeing what comes out. So I'll show you some of the pieces I've been making. Then I'll show you some pieces that I'm working with. This happens to be a new kit from Digital Collage Club, and it is a set of tags, which I will put an image of the tags on the screen so you can get an idea of what they look like. But what I've done is I've made them a little bit larger, and then I've cut off some of the tops that had more like a decorative tag top to them. And I want to work with some of these because I'm working on some mail that I'll be sending out to some friends I have. This is also using a collection from Digital Collage Club. I have many projects for them, as well as coupon codes, which I will put on the screen in case you're interested in purchasing anything in their shop. And this is also one of their latest collections. You know what these cards are. I don't remember the name, but again, I will put that on the screen. So what I did is, again, a coffee stained index card. And the back, again, another pocket, which I've done a little bit of layering, just, you know, added a little tuck spot. Oh, and here, what I did on this side, and I don't know if you can see it, it's one of my other favorite, I guess it's a stapleless stapler. That's what they're called. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Okay, and it ends up looking like you've stitched onto your paper. Probably see it better here. I absolutely love that for making something look really nice and vintage. I love that. So I will link this product below. I think it's on my Amazon favorite pages. All right, so that's a couple of these vintage looking pieces I've made. And then I was working on another one I wanted to show you here. As you can see, I have just a collection of things that I've been fussy cutting and sort of getting ready to use in a project. Let me show you this one right now. So this is just a triple pocket project using Digital Collage Club butterfly, the butterfly kit, I believe. Of course, it's got 3 pockets, and then we've got the taller one, so it goes all the way down. And then here I'm using a piece of the latest collection from their travel ephemera, which I think is so lovely. So you can see this. I'm just working on figuring out how I'm going to decorate this, if I'm going to add pockets. I'm not sure how I'll be embellishing this, but that might be something that we can also work on soon. Okay, so I've grabbed some additional printed ephemera from Digital Collage Club that I'll come back in a little bit to show you, I guess, in the next video. But for now, the project I'm working on, and hopefully you'll join me, is actually inspired by something I recently saw on her channel. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Angela Kerr. Oh my goodness. I even wrote it down and I don't know where I put the paper. Anyways, I saw her making some of these in this lovely kind of floral theme that she likes making items. And so that was inspiring me to do this. I'm using some items from, of course, the digital kits from Digital Collage Club, plus the vellum and the flowers are from Beebeecraft. I also have a coupon for them if you're interested in checking them out. I will link that below, as well as the unboxing where I show you a lot of the pieces that I recently did for them, or unboxed, I should say, for them, which I am so happy to be using right now. So I will link that below if you haven't seen it. So the first thing I'm doing is, as you may have noticed when I started mentioning what I'm working on in the video, I'm really just gathering some leftover printed papers that I have. You know, I usually print them out because I think I'll be making something with them, and then I change my mind or end up not using those pieces. But of course, I always like to put them to good use. And so I've gathered a few of them. And this one happens to be a vintage map from their travel collection. They do have quite a few travel themed pieces in their shop, so if you wanted to check those out, I will link them below. So what I'm doing here is I'm just eyeballing the pocket. So this would be the back of the pocket, and as you can see, I'm even turning it whichever way because this is just going to be in the background of what we're going to see when I make this pocket. And what I love about this project is that you can just basically fold your paper whatever size you want and cut it whatever size you want, so you can make an easy see-through pocket. If you don't have vellum, you could always use packaging, like those clear paper bags from packaging, and just cut a piece to size. You could also use tracing paper, which I absolutely love to use as well. And I do have a few projects showing you how I've used, you know, tracing paper and that sort of thing as well on my channel if you wanted to check it out. But because I happen to have the vellum from Beebeecraft, that haul that I did a little while back, I decided to use it in this project because I really like how it turns out. So as you can see here, I just folded 3 corners of the sheet of paper, and now again I'm just eyeballing this piece of vellum, just trying to see which way is the best way to cut this so that I can, you know, use up as much as possible, and of course save as much as possible for my next project. So if you wanted to, of course, measure everything, you could, depending on the size of pocket that you need, but again, I'm just eyeballing it because this is just pieces that I am making that I'll have ready maybe for another journal that I'm working on, or to add to mail that I'm sending to friends. I usually like to include, you know, different items that they can use in a project, and I also try and make it somewhat neutral. By that I mean maybe sticking with florals, with birds or butterflies. That sort of theme seems to be something that a lot of people use. I did mention at the beginning that I was looking at the latest travel themed ephemera from Digital Collage Club, and of course, you know, I get sidetracked and I start working on something else. But at least I know I've printed some of the pieces, and I'll probably come back and show you. If you want, let me know by leaving a comment below, and I can show you other ephemera pieces that I'm working on, or other pieces that I'm thinking of including in my snail mail to my friends. So I think that it's just always fun to work on different things, right? Now here I realized I cut my little vellum piece a little short, but of course you know, it's easy to clear off the glue here when it hasn't fully dried. And that's still going to work out perfectly, but I did cut that a little too short from the side. I was also trying to save a little bit of the vellum because we do know vellum sometimes is a little pricey, so I didn't want to fill the entire pocket that would be covered up by the little folded pieces that we have here, so that's why I left it a little bit short. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well. I'm not sure if I still sound like I have a cold or like I'm congested. I can hear it like in my own head. I still sound like that, but I'm not sure. As many of you may already know, my family and I did get COVID about 6 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, I have all the info or all the details in my update video I did a few weeks ago actually, or maybe last week. I'm going to start calling this my COVID brain because I can't seem to focus on anything properly. My goodness. Okay, so as you can see here, I've just grabbed some strips of paper, which is another reason I love this project. You can use anything you have, And I'm just gathering some of my little strips that I knew I was going to use at some point, and now I will be putting them to use. And all we do here is cover up these folded edges so that we kind of give it a decorative edge on each side. You could certainly make this with the exact same color of paper on either side, or you could just use up your scraps like I am. And I think that's what I really, really loved when I saw this project is I love to repurpose, reuse, and whenever I have leftover bits, I save them. So when when you get a chance to use those, I am super excited about it. So I do hope you're enjoying this project. If you are, don't forget to like, don't forget to hit that notification bell to see another video, and of course subscribe. I only know if you've enjoyed the video or seen the video if you comment or leave me a like, so I hope that you can do that. And I do really appreciate you, kind of being with me today. So as I'm going along here and finishing this up, I thought I would just quickly mention that these last couple of weeks have been a little hectic for a lot of us here in Canada. As many of you may have heard, we were going through the wildfires that they do happen every year. This is not, the first time it's ever happened, but I think it's the first time that it's affected the big cities, because it's usually out really in the forest areas, and this year it affected a lot of the cities, and I think that's why there was a lot more kind of focus on it. The other thing was we actually had a change in the way the air smelled, which made it such a difference to really be more aware of what's going on right in our world at the moment. Usually we kind of know it's happening, but you don't really get affected by it, so you don't kind of talk about it or bring it up as much. And Mother Nature is angry, my friends. We are messing up this world so bad, and hopefully we can all start to figure out how to help it, because oh my goodness, like so many people have been, of course, displaced by these wildfires. I know California gets them often, so my friends in the US, we totally know what you're going through. I'm sure many other places in the world go through this, and we do know that, wildfires are supposed to be good in a way when they are done to you kind of refresh and restart certain areas that need it. But the ones that are kind of out of control and not, not being sort of started on purpose, then that's where the problem begins, because it really just takes over everything, right? And so that's just been such a difficult time, I guess, the last few weeks for everybody. I know that some of our friends in the US also, became more aware of this again this year, because it affected not only their air, but also the color of, what was happening outside. We saw a time lapse of the way that, everything looked. It went from like the haze and the gray to all these different colors, and then it ended up in like this orangey red that it was just a little scary. Anyways, I'm just glad that, things are starting to clear up a little bit, at least in our area. That doesn't mean they're stopping. The wildfires are still going, but hopefully they can get managed. And, everyone that's been helping is just so appreciated, of course, because they've been kind of working endlessly to try and get these under control. So back to the project here. These are the little florals that I mentioned, the set that I got from Beebeecraft. I absolutely love them. I'm just kind of cutting up pieces and using them. And of course, I'll be adding some of these to my mail with my friends, because I do have a lot. I'm also using the little ticket printable from Digital Collage Club, and that came in the same set as the travel themed ephemera that I just mentioned. So this is one of the printables that comes in that set. And so what I've done here is I've just sort of used it. I'm trying to just collage a couple pieces to give a little more interest to that front. And I'm trying to stick to the theme, but also again, make it a little bit more useful, like with the florals here, just make it a little bit more feminine in a way. And of course, whatever you add to the pocket will also kind of change the way this looks. And I think it could go in just about any project. I also did find these stickers that I had. I think they came from Your Creative Studio at some point back. And so, of course, you know, I'm kind of always going through my stash to see what I can use in a project. So the ones on the right with the birds, the fussy cut birds are from Digital Collage Club. They do have these birds that you can fussy cut in a kit. But I just didn't feel like fussy cutting right now, so I just decided to use a sticker for this one. I do think the birds look a lot nicer, but of course, you know, you have any stickers that you can kind of see through them, and I think this would work just as well. So there's no need to, you know, to fussy cut if you don't want to, but they are available if you're interested as well. And like I said, everything I've mentioned, I will link it in the description box below. And then I'll just finish up with the little floral here. And yeah, I think this is really fun and easy to make project. You can make a bunch at once if you want to, or just a couple for whatever project. And like I said, I really enjoy some pieces that I make for sending to friends as well when I add it to their happy mail. And it's just so fun to have a variety of things that you can include. That's one thing I'm always looking for, is just different things that either inspire me to make them or something that will kind of make the project I'm working on a little bit more interesting to look at. So yeah, I'm really happy that I came across this video. I will link her channel below, but I'm sure many of you that watch me are also watching Angela Kerr. But I will link her video below. She's so inspiring, and she has so many fun ideas. I think the ones she does the most are the amazing envelopes, I think she calls them. So they're so fun to watch. So I will link her channel below. And I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my shop if you have a moment. I do have journals. I did mention I changed things a little bit where I've switched where my digitals are, but everything is linked below. And as always, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon with another video. Thanks so much for stopping by.